I made a pyramid of Starburst in front of me.
Oh.
And
I
I
would
love,
say
it's so hard for me to resist candy.
one thing I need is a lion's mane shroomy. That's gonna up my focus. I know it's been a while since they told us that we don't really
Just like two
fit
weeks ago.
we don't fit their strategy or whatever. I'm just
We're not what
gonna
they're looking for. We're
we're
not the
not
droids. We're not the trans girls they're looking for.
they're not looking for what if we found oh my god, what if we found out it was like some sort of super right wing thing and they were like looking to like
There's no way. There's no
open
way.
up Christians into the mushroom market. So Trumi
Well,
focus.
you never know. Yeah,
I've popped two in
it
my
is
mouth.
lion's mane, like the
Mm.
lion of Judah.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah, there
Mm.
you go.
Mm.
Lannister always pays their debts.
Mm. Mm. It's orange
Their
flavored.
their debts to the Lord.
Ladies, gentlemen, and friends beyond the binary, welcome to Girl Dick with Ted Cruz, starring Lilith Electra Zarling, Amanda Bonanza, and esteemed Republican Senator from the great state of Texas, your host, Ted Theodore Cruz.
I can't. I'm
Yeah,
bad.
go for it. Go for it.
I just Starburst.
Pink Starburst.
I was a pink Starburst.
The pink Starburst are the best Starburst.
My favorites are red, but I like them all.
Red and pink. If you're talking candy, red is always the number one candy, unless there's pink or blue raspberry.
I still like purple, despite that I'm older than 8 years old.
Wait, what candy has purple?
It's the universal grape flavor. All candy.
I'm thinking about like one that comes with like Starburst. There's no purple Starburst. There's
Not
purple
in the traditional
Skittles.
pack. There might be like that might have been like a purple in one of their like bullshit tropical things. Like whenever like candies like deviate from their original thing and they're trying to like it's tropical Skittles. It's like it's the worst Skittles.
Yeah.
Like I hate the tropical deviation. I guess they haven't done it in a while. That's probably like a 20 years ago thing. You might be able to still find them at the grocery outlet because they were made 20 years ago.
Go to eBay or Dollar General or someplace like that. Ollie's.
Okay. We're talking about that. So I stumbled onto this weird like eBay spot.
Yeah.
Where, like there's like, or maybe it was Reddit, but it linked to eBay, but like there was a candy that I think Hershey's made like in like a while ago, like in the noughties, and it was like I think it was called Tastations. It was just like basically like hard candy. It wasn't very good, and consequently, like they stopped making it because it wasn't very good and people didn't buy it.
Right.
But there's like a hardcore like Taste Stations fan base, and they're like QAnon, where they're like trying to rally to bring it back with like guns. They're like diehard like preppers that like demand Taste Stations.
Arm up, y'all. Arm up, y'all. We need our Taste Stations back. Ugh.
I remember that name, but I never had that candy. But like hard candy, who wants hard candy like ever? Right? That's like consistently the thing that no one wants, and it's like it's got such a reputation. That's like what goes in. Like, what do you think of old lady candy?
Yeah,
a couple of things come to mind, and it's like it's the
butterscotch disc.
Yeah, like that, but like also just like that weird like the Halloween candy that just is black and orange and wax paper is like peanut butter flavor or something, but it's like doesn't have a label. It's just like the black wax paper and orange
and then you bite into it, and when you pull your teeth apart, it pulls all your fillings out.
And it's kind of like, but it's also it's chewy, but it's also kind of crunchy at the same time. Like not crunchy, but it's just hard. And then and then it's like really gross. Yeah. And you don't know if it's like peanut butter taffy. I don't even know what it is.
Ugh.
But that's like you're that and then the candy that's just like the hard candy that's in a wrapper that's a strawberry.
Yeah, that's a good one. And then it's got like
That's
some
old
sort of
lady
gel in the
candy.
middle. Wait,
Yeah, it's
do you remember root beer barrels?
okay. I kind of do,
Yeah.
but I don't. Like,
They were like a hard candy, and they came in like they just like the butterscotch. You could get them. Now this is something they don't do anymore. When I was working at an unnamed pharmacy back in the day,
yeah,
they used to have the loose candy where you could just go with a bag and like scoop a pound of like butterscotch discs or peppermint disc, and they'd have the root beer, but it was shaped like a barrel, and you would suck on it, but it would just cut up your mouth because it was like a weird shape.
did it like you eat the whole candy, or did you like? Am I confusing it with like? Because I remember I have a vague recollection that there was a candy, and maybe it's that candy, and maybe it's not. But it was like it was a barrel, but like the barrel was plastic, and you had to like bite the top off and like
No, 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 no.
drink the
No, this
liquid.
was just it was just like the butterscotch or peppermint discs, except it tasted like root beer and was shaped like a
Yeah.
barrel.
No, I don't remember those, but that sounds familiar. Like it's like one of those things, or like maybe it was on the edge of me buying that kind of candy, because there was we had. I remember like bottle caps was a candy,
Just like
and
pressed powder that you'd bite into and
yeah,
just like
it was like that chalky stuff that, but it was soda flavored, and like there
yeah.
was root beer, and there was grape and cola. And what even is cola? Like it's a berry, I think, and it's
It's a
an
bear.
African berry.
It's a bear. A
A
cola bear.
koala?
A cola
Like,
bear.
what are you talking about?
Yeah, they're in Australia. They eat eucalyptus. A cola bear.
Come now, we can do better than this for comedy. I would like to raise our standards. Back to go back to school.
If there's one thing that's going to appeal to the young trans people of today, it's our discussion on old
It's
lady
dropping
candy.
A's. But the thing is, you're absolutely right about that, because I was like, well, we can talk about nostalgic Gen X candy, but then we are the olds now. Like,
Yeah, well,
like it's like, yeah, the boomers are like they're the super olds, like, and we're the olds, like, and now we're
I
so now
believe
we're the
they're old evil and we're old ambivalent.
well, I mean, that started we're starting to get shitty as a generation. Like it's like our we're the gross transphobic ones now. It's like it's like the Gen X is the problematic generation now. Like the boomers are still there being hella problematic. Like, Gen X is just like just creeping up with the problems. Up and coming problematics.
Starting to get where we don't understand the world and we're old and confused.
It's like back in my day, and like someone says shit like I have this friend, and she's like an online friend. Like I've met her, I
Yeah,
think, in real life once,
yeah. So
maybe. I think,
she's more of a real life friend than I am.
I guess technically, like I didn't really talk to her. I definitely consider you more of a friend, but like
Absolutely.
I've known her like on Facebook for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Like forever. And like and she's, we get along in a lot of ways, but like she also has like some positions on things that are, in my opinion, pretty unsavory. But like when she's on point.
Yeah.
Like, and so it's like, well, I just kind of I've blocked her before, and like it's like okay, and like I've kind of like, oh, and then, but like she is like, she's approaching middle age, but she's like settled down. She used to be like a wild goth, like party animal, like, like millennial, but
Mhm.
like she is like aging out now, and she's like she owns horses and like has like a thing, and she's like super into like dressage and all this stuff. Yeah. And
Dressage.
dressage, is that what it's called?
Dressage. Yeah.
Is that did I do it wrong? Dressage.
That's okay. You just gotta put some
It's
gotta length
dressage,
you gotta
like
lengthen a little to
man
be fancy.
lovage.
Dressage.
Yeah, like like when you get a message. Get your shoulders
Do you
rubbed.
mean massage? Dressage, yes. You teach
Message.
your
I'm gonna start
horses.
calling that a
Yeah,
message.
you teach your horses to vogue.
Oh,
Dressage, yeah.
it's like, oh, I need a message.
Look at that focus. I went out of
Look at
focus.
the,
That's
I
how
know, look
focused
at
I
the,
was
but
in.
you're so focused that the camera couldn't handle it.
Can't keep up with me.
Can't do
Oh
it.
man.
Holy
It's like this
shit.
intense feeling of like a burning behind my eyebrows, like laser focus is coming
Wow.
through my eyes into my brain, that whatever I'm seeing, whatever I'm hearing, I'm completely brain focused on it.
Every time you eat your Trumies and you talk about like the experience of the Trumies, it blows my mind just because I've never done it, but like you clearly visibly get high really
Clearly,
fast.
visibly goes right into the bloodstream. That lion's
It
mane.
was like it's amazing how fast it takes
Amazing how
hold.
fast. I've
Like
barely
and
it's
what
not
the
even in my
visible
stomach
difference
yet.
is
It's
from an
not even
observer's
in my
point of view.
stomach yet. It's not even being digested in my bloodstream, but already it's like Hulkamania coursing through your
It
veins. It's just
is.
like, oh, I cannot be stopped or defeated.
Ah,
I'm completely focused now
I
on
know it's
whatever task
incredible.
is at hand.
It is incredible. I don't even
Yeah.
know if there is a task. I don't have a task for you. I wasn't ready for you. I wasn't prepared for this Truby adventure.
I need something to focus on, or I'm gonna be fucked.
Need to focus on these orange
I'll
slices.
be
I need to
like,
go.
I'll be like
Here's a puzzle.
Cyclops on X-Men when he takes his glasses off and just
Here's a
burns
Sudoku. Here's a
sauce.
look at her a Sudoku stat.
Thank you, Sudoku. Finally, one
Need to
nine
focus
eight
on
three two
Wordle.
seven
How
four
can you
five
do a
six.
Wordle? Did you do your Wordle today?
I have not done Wordle in like
Proper Gen
8 months.
Xer. I never got into it like the way some people did, but I feel like it's a total Gen X thing. Like where it's like, oh, Wordle, I did my Wordle today. It's like, and especially the people that like post their
Post their
results
scores. Yeah,
still like now. It's like that was like not great when everyone was doing it, but it's like now it's like I guess now it's I think whenever a Facebook trends or a social media's trend like starts and it gets really obnoxious in its repetitiveness and its redundancy, and at the time it feels super cringe.
yeah,
Like I think after it blows over a while and you've got the people that are still residually doing it,
yeah.
like it the cringe factor goes away and then it's just kind of
It's
funny.
just there. I
It's
actually
just there. It's kind of funny.
actually quit doing it because 3 days in a row I guessed the word exactly on my first try, and I'm like, this isn't even a challenge anymore.
That's just ridiculous.
It
Did you have
was
Troomies? Was it the
I
Troomies?
did. It was the Troomies,
Yeah.
and the first day it was Boner, and that was just Boner is always my first guess. So
Boner's a
I was
good
like,
start. I never
yeah,
even thought of using that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
It was just
So
Boner 3 days in a row.
no, the first day was Boner, and then I knew like, well, it's not going to be Boner the next day.
Was it
So
Farty?
I was like Boner, Screws was the next day. Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah. And then the last was Butter,
Dildo.
Butter Dildo. Yeah, and I was like, well, fuck,
It
what's
couldn't.
the
Yeah, it couldn't
point?
be butter. It wasn't butter. It's 5 letters. We all now you fucked up because now everyone knows that it wasn't Boner. You just stuck with dildo.
Was
I
caught
think
in
it
a
could have been dildo.
was caught in a lie.
Mm,
Fuck.
let's help people.
Let's help some people. Welcome to Girl Dick. I'm Liz Arling. That's Amanda Bonanza. Ted Cruz could not be here. He sends his regrets. We have no regrets every time he misses. This is Girl Dick with Ted Cruz. We are here to answer questions, provide advice, provide insight, talk about the trans experience, and just be here for all you beautiful babies out there here at the end of the world. Hope you're doing great. Amanda, how are you doing today?
I mean, it depends. Like, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Doing all right.
Considering everything.
Considering, I mean, yeah, you got to consider everything. Considering
Yeah,
everything, we're all
considering
doing all
everything,
right.
I'm doing okay.
We're all
Doing just
doing
fine.
okay. Yeah,
Doing
yeah, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll
yeah.
see. And but like that whole end times thing does feel a bit urgent.
It does feel
A little
like
bit.
we're there.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
feeling the urgency of like, hey, I'm gonna have to do something pretty soon. It's gonna. We'll worry about that later. We
Yeah,
can worry
we'll worry
about that
about
on
that
the
later.
podcast.
We'll do the podcast
Talked about
now. We'll worry
about
about.
a little bit about that last week. I mean, a little bit. I mean, a lot. Hasn't
Hey,
changed from last
no.
week, but like, oh, it's definitely hasn't gotten better.
How crazy
I'm
would
not
it be if,
less
like, how crazy would
anxious.
it be if it in that time period it did get magically 100% better?
It's fucking great.
That'd be
Fucking
fucking
great.
great. It's like we gotta
Won't
that one we
happen.
recorded, we gotta throw that in the
It
garbage
didn't
because
happen. Yeah, no.
it didn't.
No, because then we
I
would
have
have
no
to
doubt
put
that
that
this will
on a
be playing as
pedestal.
is.
Yeah, we have to date stamp that one, so it's like, look how wrong we were.
Look at
Like,
this.
look
Look at it.
how wrong we got everything, and how everything just worked out great in the span of a week. It's incredible.
1 week.
That's all it took, was just a week. I just needed to be more patient. That's all.
Who would have known it? Who would have known that a meteor would have hit that CPAC convention where every major Republican was gathered?
I mean,
And
just saying,
for some right reason, Nancy Pelosi,
they
Joe
do
Biden,
all
and
get
Kamala
into a
Harris.
place.
Meteor's a meteor.
Or a whatever's a whatever.
You gonna blame me for a meteor? Like I can control
Me for
meteors?
a
I mean,
meteor.
I know I'm magic.
I mean, they will blame us, but
Well,
they'll
that's
be
cool.
dead.
Man,
They'll be dead.
what you think? You think I'm the first? You be the first person to blame me for something I knew? Fuck you! I get blamed
I
for shit all the
know.
time. Whatever.
Don't
Whatever. Blame me.
explode CPAP with an improvised explosive device. Don't do that.
I said a meteor. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm just saying, don't do that. That's against the rules.
No, but
Don't
if a
do
meteor
that. That wouldn't
happens,
be
no,
legal. Wouldn't
it
be
would
legal
not. It
to
would
blow
not.
up CPAP with an
No,
improvised explosive device.
no.
Not
But
even one
somehow
that
it's
you
legal.
found on the internet by using a VPN.
But somehow it is legal to
You
blow
can
up an abortion
don't
clinic.
do it.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, that's different. That's for God. That's for the children.
I'm doing it for God and children too. So I'm doing it for the trans
Don't do it,
babies.
is what I'm saying. Don't do it.
I,
Don't use a VPN to go onto the internet and search for how to make an improvised explosive device, and intentionally avoid the anarchist cookbook and go instead to the Marine manual of how to make an improvised explosive device. Don't do any of those things, and then definitely don't read it and use what it says to make an improvised explosive device to blow up CPAP. Don't do that. It's illegal.
Well, now that we're through all that stuff we have to cut from the podcast, let's talk about the podcast. Unless you want to keep going, you can keep going, or we could just jump.
No, you've already said don't do that.
We should just jump into a question. You want to jump into a question?
You just dive in.
We should just dive in. I found this one. I saved it to
or
my.
we could sneak in like one might do with an improvised explosive device.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going with this meteor idea. So.
But that one shouldn't do because it's illegal.
I want to take some mushrooms, but not this shroomy bullshit. Some like real mushrooms to really focus me on the inside of my head.
How's that focus, babe?
Man, I'm focused. I'm focused as fuck.
Yeah,
I'm so focused. Look at my eyes.
Those pupils are bigger than they were when we started the podcast just a few minutes ago.
Holy shit. They're so blue.
The focus is strong with this one.
So I've got this thing here saved, and the title is just "Need Advice." So that seems like it's asking. It's asking for us. So I'm going to click on it. I don't know what they need advice about though, because all it says is "Need Advice." So we're going to open it up, and we're going to find out together what they need advice on. Hey, with 2 Y's, HEYY. I'm 30, male to female, just started hormones again. How do you get the courage to go again? How do you get the courage to go out? I have an outfit picked out, but I'm shy and worried about people think or say. What should I do?
Oh.
I know.
Well,
This
how do you go
question.
out? How do you go out dressed up
How do you do it?
when you're so scared, when you're
I'm
so
so worried.
nervous?
Shy.
Well, I mean, the thing is there's a couple schools of thought on this,
Yeah.
and one is you can build yourself up. You can
Yeah.
practice like in smaller, safer places. Like just you might be just wearing the dresses in your room or like or other safe places, but like go, try spending some time with people that you really trust, that know and that like that are supportive, and then just spend a day in and dressed with them, and then just see how that feels. And you maybe you've already done this stuff, but in the end, like how do you go out? You just do it.
Yeah.
You just got to do it. And this is the this is the hard part, because like we've talked about this a lot on this show, which is if you go out into the world and you're emanating that fear and that apprehension, people are going to pick up on it and you're going to get that in return. But if you can go out with confidence, then that's what you get in return. And you get positive energy, and when you put out confidence into the world, positive energy comes back. When you put out fear and apprehension into the world, negative energy comes back. And there's no way to do it other than to just make up your mind to do it. Like, and it
Yeah.
is it is a huge leap of faith and courage that you have to take, but it's guaranteed to pay off. Like it does. And like you might get some shit from someone anyway, but that's just part and parcel of being trans. That's just part of it. You're gonna get that here and there, but if you're walking around scared and you're wearing your dress and you're like have a closed stance or like have fear in your eyes, and you're emanating your pheromones are putting that out in the world, like, and they're putting out fear and like, oh, I feel awkward, I shouldn't be here. Like that's if you're putting that out, that's what you're going to get. And people that are unsavory are going to pick up on that. They're going to act on it, and they're going to
Yeah.
be mean to you.
They're little
And
fear
that's,
goblins.
yeah, and they eat it, and they are gonna like see you as a soft target, which you are. And that's the thing, is like it's really hard because like the only way the only way to do it is to to do it full Sasquatch. You got to put your whole ass, you got to put your back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
that
out with confidence, and you just got to own the shit. You got to own your shit. That's
yeah.
how.
I would say a few things like kind of building on that, like, yeah, find the people that you feel comfortable with. Go to the places you feel comfortable. You don't have to go to the mall first thing. Go to a
You don't have to go to
go
like
to
the
a
cis het
go to
dance
a
club either.
gay club. Go to a
Yeah.
gay bar. I came out the first time I went out in public completely dressed. I was emceeing a music stage at Pride Festival. So it was just like in front of 1,000 some strangers. And I just went on stage and no one knew who the fuck I was. No one really cared who the fuck I was, but I was just outside being my true self, and it felt amazing. And the few people who I did run into there who knew me, and the person who hired me to do that, like, they were super supportive because obviously it's a Pride Festival. Of course they're going to be supportive.
Right.
So find
Not
those
everyone has the
people.
opportunity to go on stage in front of 1,000 people either.
What can I say?
But
But you can still find those friends in those places where you feel comfortable. And honestly,
yes,
I think it's always like this. Like the first time is always the toughest, and it gets easier every time you go out.
every
And
time, every time,
you're gonna grow.
until
And
it just feels normal.
yeah. And I've told you, I'm sure I've told you this a million times. Like
Yeah,
when I first transitioned, man, y'all, I had to go out and like I had to completely shave my body. I had to do all my makeup, but I hate doing like foundation and stuff, and
I wore
I hated it.
corsets and
Yeah, and I had to get a
control
bra, and
pants. Like,
I have
yeah,
not
like
worn a
I
bra
put
since
all
I
this stuff
transitioned.
on.
I put on makeup for this
Jesus, I don't even
podcast.
wear pants anymore. I just don't even bother. Like I
If
don't do
it's
any. I just like live. I was
I
like, but
work
that's where
from
you have to
home,
go
and if
through
it's
that
really
to get
hot in the
there.
summer, I will work all day naked, just making phone calls and doing paperwork. So you know, that's the other end of the spectrum. But really, it's all about like one, people judging you.
Let's go to that. I
Everyone's
like it.
everyone's always judging you, so there's no reason to be worried about that. But second of all, who cares if those people are judging you? Like 99.9% of them are never going to say anything to you anyway. And if they do say anything to you, who fucking cares, right? If someone says anything to me, it's like, okay, I don't. What do you want me to do about it? Like,
Counterpoint to that, Carrie
yeah.
Mays.
I mean, you should always. I always say, like, don't let those things stop you from living your life, but also don't be completely
Be ready.
oblivious to the fact. Yeah, be ready for it.
Yeah, be
But
ready.
yeah, go to places that are
We're in danger
comfortable.
sometimes.
Go to places you're comfortable. Be with people you're comfortable. And it's just like, getting in the pool when it's like super cold, and you step in and you let your feet get used to how cold it is, and you step a little further and it's like cold again, and then you get down to your knees, and soon your whole body's in and the water's fine, and that's, you're gonna go out and
And once you
you're
dunk your
stretch
head in, it's over.
yeah, and then stretch yourself a little further each time, and play from there. You don't have to drive down 95 from Richmond to Tampa your first time going out, and like just act like that's no big deal. Like, just go where you feel comfortable. And it could start, like you mentioned, ask
Well, like,
friends you feel comfortable with over to, like, come over for dinner and make them dinner and wear your dress and do your makeup, and start there.
yeah.
Just have that positive experience.
Well, it might be a situation where question askers like got a thing coming up, and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it, like that could be too. Like if they might not have that, she might not have that option, but like yeah, I mean, I think like both of those things that's the best we can do. Really, is
yeah,
like yeah, ease into it, start in safe places, and work your way up. That's one way. The other way is to just own it. And owning it is the surefire way. You're going to have to do that at some point. It's going to be easier to own it as you build up your confidence, like in a more like, I guess, traditional way. But
right.
like, but eventually you are just going to have to own it. Like,
Yeah.
and then you can get that by whatever way you have, whatever
Well,
roundabout
and
way. If you need to take a switch back to get up there, then that's what you have to do. Or you can just like fucking scale the goddamn mountain and just like be like, this is it, I own it. And it's million times said that, it's a million times, it's easy thing to say,
well, everyone's
hard thing to do.
everyone's comfort level, experience, journey is different, and if your journey starts with, like I said, you're just wearing it around the house and feeling comfortable in it,
Yeah,
that's where it starts. If it starts with, going grocery shopping by yourself, if you feel like that's it for you, then that's it for you. But there's no
whatever it
right or wrong
takes.
way. It's like, just take it at your pace, and realize
Mm-hmm.
that there's no right or wrong way to do it.
And
There's
you are going to have a day or a time when it does go bad, and that's okay. It happens to all of us, and you'll learn from it, and you'll it'll make you stronger. Like, it's like, I hate that adage, the whatever doesn't kill you make you stronger thing. It's like, that's not true ever. Like, a
Yeah.
lot of things that don't kill you really fuck you up. But
All right. Here's one of these questions that we see a lot, and I really want to do, not like, we don't have to do a deep dive on it, but it's something we just really, I think, especially the time and age we live in, we need to talk about it. And it's like, hey, y'all,
okay.
I'm a cis man trying to understand the topic more. And I guess we're the topic. Um, I want to be as supporting to my trans family members as I can. I just don't understand as much as I'd like to. I support their decision and
Legit.
love them. What can I do to let them know I care and support them and understand the topic more?
Well, out of the gates, understand that it's not a decision. There's that.
Yeah.
That right there, that's a real good place to start, because you
Yeah.
don't choose to be trans, you just simply are. Um, we don't get to choose, like, any more than you got to choose not being trans.
Right.
Like, and so right out of the gates, that's just a real fucking solid place to start, is
Just, yeah.
understand that. Uh, and honestly, like, after that, it sounds like you have the best of intentions, and that's
Yeah.
great. I love that. The what I would advise is patience, because like if you've got trans relatives, sound like more than one, they're at various stages in transitioning or whatever it may be. Um, that especially if someone's early on, they just came out. Maybe you've got a close sibling or something like that, cousin, a nephew, niece, whatever. Um, Whatever the term for non-binary version of that is, I couldn't say. But whatever it may be, understand that like it's very no matter how awkward or difficult or challenging it is for you, it is 100 times more awkward, difficult, and challenging for them.
Mm-hmm.
And have patience with them. And if they say something that goes against like your belief system or your understanding, don't get defensive about it, and don't hold your ground. Like don't be like, well, that's not what I believe, I believe this, like, because you're probably wrong. Like, hey, I
Yeah.
mean, quite frankly, like they know more about it than you because they're going through it. You don't know. And I mean, but like I said, like the fact I hope this doesn't sound like I'm coming at them and I'm attacking, because I don't want to be, because I want you to be an ally, and you're coming at this with the best intentions, and it sounds great and I love that. But these are the things that traditionally cis men do that make it hard for us, is they get defensive when their belief system gets challenged. They take all they take everything as, they take a lot of things as personal attacks that aren't necessarily personal attacks, and they flip the script. And they say, well, you say that about you, but what about what about my feelings? Like your feelings don't matter in this particular scenario.
This
Like
scenario.
that's like, I mean, that's the reality,
Yeah.
is like they're going through it, they're living it. So whatever you think you understand about it is incorrect if they tell you otherwise.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just the reality of it is, but you're coming into it with that attitude, which is a great attitude to have.
I
Keep it up is my advice. Lilith.
I am going to raise the stakes and challenge people to be better allies, because so often I see things like this and it's all focused on, support them and blah, 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 and tell them this, and that's all important and stuff. But are you, cis man, asking this question, ready to say something to another relative who says something about your trans relatives?
Yes.
Are you willing to call someone out at Thanksgiving or Christmas? And I feel
Or a
like
stranger.
I get that all the time where people are like, what can I do? It's like, you know what? I share a lot of stuff on social media. Stuff that's funny will get a lot of traction, and stuff about trans people. The only people who react to it are the trans people. So if you see your trans sibling or relative or friend who's posting stuff about, laws that are going on to the states, action that needs to be taken when it comes to anti-trans laws and rhetoric, share that. Be that voice, because you know what? You people will tune out trans people. They will block them or whatever. But if you're really an ally, it's more than just saying, hey, I accept your decision. It's about how are you really going to make the world better and safer for them. And that starts with, like I said, I've been at work where people said something racist and I spoke out about it. And I'm not trying to clap myself on the back, but for white people, I think that's a big problem. Shit gets said and no one says anything about it. They let it slide. It's the same thing here. If you really want to help your trans friends, here in Virginia, there's a organization called Equality Virginia that is on the front line of fighting for trans rights. And the minimum thing, and this is what I do. Like I consider myself, visible and things like that. But something that I do with them is they just send email blasts that are like, hey, this bill's coming out. Send an email to your legislator, and you click the button, and it's the first time you fill in your information, but it's got your address, it's got all your, and then using that, it finds the people who represent your district, and it you have an email. You can edit the email if you want, but the email basically just says, "Hey, asshole, don't vote for this bill," and you can send those emails right to your legislators. And I know it sounds like it's bullshit, but
People
having mass
do listen
emails,
to that shit.
if enough emails come as doing that, so you don't have to be politically active in that. You have to go, you don't have to
You don't
testify.
have
You
to
don't have to play,
picket.
but you can join an organization that fights for trans rights, and you can donate money for them. You can
Mm-hmm.
take part in these email things, but you can definitely, speak up and use your voice to do this. And this is something that's always failed in America. They go, "Oh, I support black people." It's like, well, how have you done that? It's one thing to say you support trans people. It's one thing to say you support something, but how are you actively doing this? And I find a lot of times, especially with cis men, especially with cis white men, that as soon as other cis white men are going to call you out for what you're doing, then they're less of an ally than they need to be. And it's just paying attention to the world around you and like speaking up for that when it's right. And I've just hit me, this morning, like talking about when Roe v. Wade fell last summer, and all these, not every white woman, but blah blah blah, but white women was, "Oh, see, now they're coming for this," and it's like, you know what? You ignored what's been happening to trans people for the last 2 years. You've ignored the uptick in the already tremendous amount of violence against Black people in recent years, especially with the summer of 2020, and then to come in and say, like, "See, now they're coming for us," and it's like, well, they've been coming for a while. You just chose to ignore that. And so it really is about paying attention to the world around you and speaking out against things that are wrong,
For
and
real.
speaking out when it's going to cost you. It's easy to be an ally, and it's easy to speak out when there's no cost to you. But if you're going to lose friendships, you're gonna have to make that, just like a trans person does. Do you want to stand up for a trans relative, or do you want to say something about trans rights, or do you want to really be an effective ally, or do you want to make sure that your golf buddies still want to go golfing with you next weekend?
Yeah, for
See,
real.
I did raise the stakes. Wow, that
You did
became,
raise the
yeah,
stakes, and that's
yeah.
good. But like, I mean, that's the reality of it. And that might sound like it's we're asking a lot. And like, because you came into this like, I just want to help, I just want to learn more, and I want to help. And it's like, well, here's the thing. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Like, it is hard. It's hard right now. Like, we need all
But
the real help we
but
can get.
honestly, even
Actually,
what we're asking, we're not even asking a
it's not
lot.
even that
I was
much.
like,
It's not
really?
even that much. And like losing friends that are already pieces of shit, that's a good thing for
That's a
you.
good thing for
Like,
you. You're
that's a
gonna
good
get
thing
that
for you.
toxicity out of your
You
life.
you get rid of that shit. Like, that's the good thing. And they're like, yeah, be that alpha, be that fucking tough guy that fucking does stand your fucking ground. You're gonna fucking take it from these other fucking cucks. Like, it's
Imagine your friend group losing
like, yeah.
those three overweight middle-aged white dudes who you golf with, and replacing them with six hot trans girls. Fuck, your life is better already. Your life
Or
is so
even
much
just like
better.
losing the
Just
dead weight
lose
of the
them. Yeah,
shitty
just
people.
losing them.
Period. Even if they're just
Yeah.
gone, it's better. Like, if these are bad people, if these are like, quite frankly, if you're hanging around and like your friend circle includes bigots and people that think that there are subsects of humanity that are less deserving of rights than you, then you need to get rid of them, period. Like, no
Yeah.
matter who they are. And like, you calling the herd, so to speak, like, is the best thing you can do for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, your life will get better,
I
like,
will
if you get rid of that shit.
I will say this. This is to Skeetle Juice 25, who is the one who asked this question on Reddit. We'll
Yeah.
be your friends. If you
Yeah.
lose your three golf buddies, and now I've already created a world where you have three golf buddies who are now gone, we will be your friends.
Yeah. So
And
you
your
have
life's already
two hot
better.
trans girls. Yeah.
And you have these
Way better.
relatives. Oh my gosh. We'll
And
come.
they love you.
Yeah, we'll make dinner. We'll hang out.
That'll be great.
We'll watch cartoons.
Your music, you're gonna hear so much better music. Like, your
Oh,
aesthetics are gonna get better. Like,
so
it's just
good.
like, yeah.
So good.
Because like, in general, things will get
We
better.
can help you
Like,
with your skincare routine.
oh my God,
Guys aren't
yeah.
told to take care of their skin, and
I
now
know.
we'll help you take care of your skin.
I'm still bad at taking care of my skin. I'm
Oh,
still I'm so bad at it.
my
I
skin
know
is
you
so
got real good
perfect.
at it. Honey, I
Yeah.
know it looks great. Like mine looks good, but it's mostly just because I got lucky.
Well, I got the
Like,
filter on Zoom that softens everything, but yeah, it is really
hmm,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
I
the, like I
yeah, I
see that
mean that's
all the
it.
time with people like how do I be a good ally? And like then you'll see things like when shit really hits the fan in the trans world and it's like, when was the last time you heard from a friend of yours who wasn't trans who was like, how are things going? It's like things are
Not so
my
great.
stomach's in knots, you know?
Yeah. So
Um
we're all really scared right now. We're all really fucking scared right now. Sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. So Skeetle Juice 25.
Thank you, Skeeto Juice
Yeah.
25.
Reach
We
out
do appreciate it.
reach out to an
Um,
organization in your state, especially if you live in one of these weirdo red states, you know?
oh,
Like
especially then.
speak up.
That's when it really counts.
Yeah.
That's when it really counts. Like like Lilith's absolutely right about this. The best thing you want to be an ally for real, like fucking join the fight.
Join the
Like
fight, write letters. And
be the fight.
it's
Like
not even that difficult. I actually feel built guilty because that's most of my stuff is like sending these emails and writing letters and I'm like, oh, I should probably do more, but I already have a podcast.
yeah, I'm
Well,
trying to
what
just
more?
fucking. I'm just trying to survive.
It's okay. You
Yeah,
should do what you feel. We should do the best you can do today, and you're
pretty
doing
much.
great. You're doing
Yeah.
great.
Or
You're
like
half
a
of this amazing
Pixar
pod.
movie, I think it was like do the next right thing.
Do the next right thing.
It's the
There you
best
go.
you can do.
But that's the thing
That
is
is
like
true.
so a lot of times in these red states, like these guys who are presenting these bills, these are bills they haven't even written. They're just from bill mills that are like there's 30 states running these bills. They're just the same in every state because they're not being written by the legislator. They're like being cranked out by this bill mill. There was a guy one in one state where it was just like would totally invalidated anyone who was intersex from getting treatment. And he's like, I didn't know that. And I'm like, yeah, it's in your bill, dipshit. There was one in Missouri where one of the people who was anti-trans, after listening to a trans kid tell their story, was just like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. And so a lot of people, trans people is just a faceless thing. There's just trans
Yeah,
people out there. They don't know trans
we're
people.
just this like boogeyman that
This
was invented by
boogeyman.
Ben Shapiro. That like
But
is like
we're people and we have
we're real
stories
people.
and we do
Yeah, and people
amazing
do it.
things.
And yeah,
And
well, even
America
if
is
he didn't, we're
better.
just people.
But
Like,
America's
literally,
when trans people are allowed to transition and to be their true selves, America is better. I don't know why you
it
would
is. The
want
world's
a
a better
portion,
place. Yeah.
why you would want a portion of your population just to be miserable. I mean, we do know it's called capitalism, but why would you want them to be living their best lives? I don't know why you wouldn't want me to be doing what I'm doing now. I'm a productive member of society. I'm having an amazing time. I'm doing a ton of things. But whatever. Ben Shapiro would rather have me having the
And
shitty
this,
job I had 3 years ago.
the entire right wing fundamental principle is that things only get better when it by making it worse. That's the only way. That's like it's the most backwards thing
Right.
you've ever heard. It's like
You
it's
gotta
insane.
go through the fire to get to
It's
more
like
fire. And it's
if you
like,
want
what?
things to
That's
be
not how that
better,
goes.
well, the best way to make things better is by making things definitely way worse. That's how you make things better.
It's called
Things are
bottoming
bad. Let's
out.
make them worse.
If
That's
you
how we're
get
going to
to
get
the
it better.
absolute bottom, then you have no place to go but up.
There's no bottom with these fucks.
Oh, right? Every time you think you're at the bottom, they're
There's
just
no
like,
bottom.
no, we just blew another hole in the bottom of the barrel. It's like, what are you
Yeah, the
doing?
barrel. I'll show you the bottom.
I'll show
Like
you the bottom of the
you
barrel.
don't know how deep this hole goes.
Right?
Like
It goes through till you
you
fall out
know,
the other side of the world and you're floating in space because you came through with such velocity.
yeah,
That's science. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to drop science in the
it's
middle of this
not.
really social podcast, but that's what I'm saying is like if you really and it's not even ask we're not asking you to put yourself in harm's way. I mean, if you want to go hang out in front of a drag brunch with like and just be supportive, like that'd be great.
Yeah,
If you
bring your
want to
fucking
show
gun.
up, yeah, you just want to hang out, that'd be great. I'm not even asking you to do that. I'm just asking you to write a letter, send an email, send some money. Send Venmo at Zarling,
Even
150,
like
250
just,
bucks.
but yeah, but just even just stand up, hold your
Yeah,
ground, hold
yeah,
your. You want to be an ally, then be one, and that means standing your ground.
yeah.
That's what really what we're saying is like in that. That's it. That's really all you have
Yeah.
to do.
I don't need
And
someone to
like
tell me they believe in
actions
me. I
speak
believe
louder
in
than
myself.
words every time. It's like you can talk the talk and like say all the buzzwords you want, and like Lila said, yes, that's good. It's not as but if when the shit hits the fan and you're like, well, what I want to play that Harry Potter game. Well then, but I
Yeah.
like Chick-fil-A. They make a good chicken sandwich.
They
It's like
put
no.
no, they put pickles on it.
That's what I'm saying. Is like when it comes down
You
to it.
can make your own like really good fried chicken sandwich. It's not
Oh,
that
it's really
difficult.
good too.
It's
It's
not
really
that difficult.
easy.
I did it once. You know
Yeah,
what I did?
it's
You know what I did with the flour? I ground up some flaming hot Cheetos into the flour mix I was using, and I made flaming hot Cheeto fried chicken.
which
It
was
was
excellent
really fucking. And
actually.
then I used some of the fried chicken, the flaming hot Cheetos, and I mixed it with a mayo to make like a flaming
A
hot sauce.
Chipotle.
Yeah, and then I served it on a bun with pickles because of
Yeah.
course pickles and my own slaw.
Well, if you don't want to know what the actual trick is that Chick-fil-A does, is they actually marinate their chicken in overnight in pickle juice.
Mm,
That's what you do. You marinate it in
yeah.
24 hours, pickle juice
Okay.
over the night.
Okay.
Not even 24 hours, like 12 hours.
I might have some
Like that's
pickle
it.
juice
You
around the
get some
house.
chicken thighs
I
and you flatten them and you soak
Yeah.
them in pickle juice. And then the next day you bread them and you fry them.
There. Now you
It
don't
works
have
in
to.
an air fryer
Now
too.
you don't
And then
have
you
to
put
go to
pickles
Chick
and
Fil A
that's it.
anymore. You don't have
That's
to go to
it.
Chick Fil A anymore. Done.
Yep.
Done.
That's all
Next.
they do. Yeah.
Next, you want to play Harry Potter? Fuck it. You're a fucking adult. Harry Potter's for like
Not even a
8 year
good
olds.
game.
Harry
Not
Potter's
even
for
a
eight
good
year
game.
olds. Come on. Read if
For
you're gonna read something
for
for little
8-year-old
kids.
racist transphobics.
Right?
Like all the little 8-year-old
Yeah,
transphobes
fucking
out there
little.
finally, transphobes that hate Jewish people, like finally get a platform.
Finally, finally, something for me.
Finally, someone made a game for the 8-year-old transphobic anti-Semite.
If you really want to read something for like 8 year olds, read the Hardy Boys. You know, they solve a mystery. Read Nancy
Great,
Drew. It's female empowerment. No, they're brothers.
great book I read. My dad showed me. It's called The Boxcar Kids. You can get The
Yeah,
Boxcar Kids.
yeah.
I remember liking it when I was a kid. It was like written in the 50s or something. It's like, I don't
Do,
know. It's good still.
do you
I
remember
haven't read it since I was a kid.
Do you remember Encyclopedia Brown?
I never read Encyclopedia Brown. I never did any
Encyclopedia.
of those books. I did what at that point I was doing like the choose your own adventures.
Yeah, I just feel like Encyclopedia Brown's too old because I'd want to do one today. It's a kid who solves mysteries, but he's Wikipedia Brown, and he never solves the mystery because he's so far off.
He just like goes down rabbit holes. He's an anti-vaxxer.
You get to the end of the book and what about the murder? He's like, oh fuck yeah, no. The murder took me to the restaurant, and the restaurant made me think about organic vegetables, and I ended up out in this farm, and then I met some people from who came down from Canada, and I ended up in Canada. It's like I totally forgot about that guy who got murdered in the restaurant.
I know.
Wikipedia Brown solves
Wikipedia
nothing.
Brown, like it's just like how to. Well, I mean, the first thing is you have to keep your grades up. So like, so that's what I did. I studied really hard, get my grades up. Like,
Wikipedia
you're solving
Brown.
any mystery. Keep your grades up.
Anyway, yeah, that's what you can do to be an ally. Tell them they're valid. Don't do Harry Potter. Don't eat Chick-fil-A. And also stand up against fascism.
Stand your ground. That's
Yeah.
it. Let's do another.
Another question?
Just jump right into it.
All right. Here's a good one. This is going to fit our vibe because it's going to get us on our horse. The title of this is just, but what if you regret it? And this person goes on a rant about this. And I was like, let's just us talk about you getting that question. Not you particular, but you, the person listening to this. Someone's always like, what if you regret it? And you end up as like one of the 3 people who are detransitioners, who are the only 3 detransitioners in the world, who are in every right-wing radio show and TV show, and they get brought in for everything with the government to testify. What do you say to people who are like, what if you regret it?
I mean,
you're stupid.
What if an airplane falls out of the sky and lands in your house? I mean, like the odds are so against you.
That's why I never bought a house.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what if you get hit by lightning? Like, what if an alligator bites off your face? Like, I
Yeah,
mean, what if a lot of fucking things? Like, I mean, like the things is like you navigate the world and the things that like nothing's certain. Very bad things could happen at any amount of time, but the chances of you regretting your transition are pretty much lower than almost anything else. Like the numbers are there, and like it's not a thing that happens. Like it's not. In fact, when you compare it to like and we've talked about this 100 times, other
yeah,
medical procedures, which it is a
yeah.
medical procedure, HRT. Like if you when you can the approval rate is so much higher than the next highest thing that it's a medical anomaly.
Right.
Like it's like the next highest thing is what is it? Life-saving heart surgery?
And that's the thing is, so it's more likely that you'll regret life-saving heart surgery over starting HRT. Like you're going to survive,
Sure.
you're going to have your life-saving heart surgery, and more people will have that and have their life saved and be like, man, I wish I would have just been able to die.
Yep,
That's more likely than you taking HRT and regretting it. Because here's
that's
the thing,
true.
you know
And
you.
and it's
You know who you
and it's
are
drastically more likely. Like
drastically.
it's like off the charts more likely. It's not even close.
And like I said, most people who detransition, it's because of factors outside of their own
It's usually their
joy.
family.
It's their family. It's society, whether it's losing a job or losing family or anything like that. And
Yeah, it's
it's
almost never because they're unhappy with the HRT. It's almost always because of societal pressure or
what was the
and
one thing I
more
saw?
often
There
than
was
not,
like
it's
a
family.
there was a clinic in Amsterdam that did a study of like 4,000 trans people, and like four of them detransitioned because they felt they had legit made a mistake. So one in every 1,000. And
Yeah,
I,
that's
if you were
point.
given one in 1,000 on odds on anything else, you would take it without hesitation.
Yeah, I even think that's probably high. Like
Yeah,
I think 4 out of 4,000 is high. Is
yeah,
weird. It's weird high. Like
yeah.
I have known one person in my life. I've met two. One
Hmm.
of them I didn't know, but they were like really just a fucked up person, and the HRT had nothing to do with it.
Sure,
And the other one was that I know that did detransition. I actually didn't know her, and I guess they're him now, but like it kind of hurts me to say it, but like
sure.
he goes by Ivan, like which is his birth name, I guess. Like, but like it was clear it was family. It was absolutely family stuff. Like
Yeah,
it is like and he decided that it was better for him to like not to detransition and have the approval of his family than to be without his family.
yeah.
And that's what he decided.
I would.
And I don't know. I stopped talking to him. Like
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on with them. Like it's just like I but it was definitely that. It wasn't because they thought they'd made a
yeah.
mistake. Like it wasn't their
I
decision.
would I would turn
Like
the question around on the person who asked it and be like, well,
yeah,
okay, well, what if you talked me out of transitioning and then I regretted it later? How would you feel about
yeah,
that? And of course, that person doesn't care because the person doesn't
they
care
don't
about your
care. They
feelings. If they cared about your feelings, they'd help you be your best you and live your best life and help you be happy. What if you regret being the happiest you've ever been in your life?
yeah. What if you regret like
Oh,
everything you've ever dreamed of coming true? What if
oh,
you regret that?
what if you regret
Like,
that?
you know that daily, like constant, perpetual, unrelenting feeling and wish that you have that you could be be the other gender,
Yeah.
like, and you just wish you were, and you wish it would happen by magic, and like every day it's all you can really think about. What if that happened? And like, how can you imagine how
Can you
horrible that would
imagine how
be?
old that was?
If
And
you
then
got everything you ever wanted,
you missed out on
like the
being
only
married to
thing
this
that you've
awful
ever
person.
truly wanted, like the only thing that you've ever truly wanted in your life, and if you got that, can you imagine how terrible that might be? Like, fuck is this shit?
Fuck is that shit,
Like, it's the
right?
dumbest thing. And it's people that don't understand because
Yeah.
they're coming from the position of like they're cis and they're not trans. So because to them, like, why would you do that?
Well,
Like it sounds horrible to me.
it goes
Like,
back to
yeah,
our
because
last
they're not
question.
trans.
It goes
Like,
back to our
yeah,
last question where it was like I support them making this decision. And it's not a decision. They are who they are.
Yeah.
Like the only way to get better is to let you be who you are.
Well, like, to be clear, it is a decision to go on HRT.
Well,
That
no,
is a
yes,
decision.
but
It's not a
like the
decision to
decision
be
to be
trans.
trans.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry.
that's not the
To
decision. But just
clarify, yeah.
to clarify that,
Yeah.
because like it is a decision, and it's a difficult decision. It really is. It's a really hard decision to make because
Especially when
it's
you got
fucking
people asking
scary.
you, well, what if you
And
regret it?
there's that, because
There's
there's
that.
that whole contingency of people that say shit like this, and like,
Mm,
well, because I thought the same thing before I came out, before I made the
yeah.
commitment. Like, I was like, well, what if I do regret it? Like, that was a factor that held me back. Like,
Yeah.
and it was just like, it was a fear, because that is the fear, because you don't know how it's going to work out. But like, statistically, like, it works out great almost every time. Like,
Yeah.
and by almost every time, I mean like pretty much more than any other decision you can ever make. Like, the
Yeah.
chances are way higher that you're gonna regret buying a house, that you would regret like keeping your job, like that you would regret what you ate for breakfast. Like, it's like
Well,
the
that's the thing.
chances.
It comes
Yeah,
from the assumption that cis people have no regrets. It's like, you know
right.
what? We had a question, it might have been last week, about someone who was like 19. It's like, at that
Yeah, it was
age,
last week.
you can change. You have opportunity for plenty of things. So if you start at 19 and you regret it 2 years later, then you can change your life. I lived an
That's the
entire
other
life
thing.
of regret. What would if I regretted this now? What was one more regret on my life of shit?
If you go into a transgender forum or a transgender space, and you ask collectively to the group, what is your biggest regret? Overwhelmingly, all of them are going to say they didn't start transitioning earlier than
Yeah,
they did.
yeah,
That's the regret, is that you didn't do it.
yeah.
That you didn't do it earlier. That's all. That's the regret. Then it's never, oh, I wish I hadn't transitioned. And here's the other thing. It's what Lilith just said. Like, on the unrealistic, very slim, almost nil chance that you do end up regretting it, I need to stop taking the meds. That's it.
Stop
Like,
taking them.
then everything's back to the way it was. And like, they think like that, I mean, don't get surgery if you're not happy. Like, I mean, like, but even that, like, it's like that. I mean, that's pretty permanent, but like the meds aren't. HRT is not permanent, like right-wing idiots would have you believe. Like, they don't know what they're fucking talking about. Like, about anything. Listen to what they say.
What?
They don't know anything. They don't understand the world around them, like, in any way whatsoever. Like, and so the idea that they think, like, they have all these ideas, like, it's permanent, it's permanent. What are you going to do? It's not. It's really not.
Okay.
It's really not permanent. It's so not permanent that you have to take it for the rest of your life. It's like I can't stop taking my meds because
Because they're
otherwise
not
I will
permanent.
detransition, and I don't want to go back because it sucks. Like,
It did
and
suck.
so I have to take it for the rest of my life. I don't get a break every day, twice a day. Do I regret it? Fuck no. Do I regret not transitioning earlier? Every waking moment. That's what I regret. And like, I've even come to terms with that, where I don't regret it. I'm still like okay with it, because I did what I had to do when I had to do it. But the idea that like that's a thing, that you should not do something that you absolutely desire in the core of your being, like, because what if I don't like it? Like, that's, I
Yeah.
mean, I guess, like, if you want to live your
I mean,
life
if you
with
really
that,
want
then
to,
why leave your house? Why leave
if
your
you're really
room?
concerned about
Like,
people making decisions they're going to regret, you should go around to everyone applying for college and paying for it with a student loan
no
and ask
shit.
them, what if you regret this? Those are some
Like,
people who
go
regret
to
some
a,
shit.
even better, go to a hospice wing in a hospital,
Yeah.
and like go to the people dying in their deathbeds and ask them, like, if they regret what they regret, and
Yeah.
see if how many of them say, I'd really wish I'd spent more time at the office. Like, they don't. Like, they don't.
What?
They regret not doing all the things they wish they had done. That's
Yeah.
what everyone in hospice always says.
Yeah.
And Go check it out. Go see for yourself. Like, and you're not going to find the
I would
people that are like,
say,
I regret doing that thing. I regret taking a chance on the thing I really wanted. That's never what anyone says.
I would also say, don't go bothering people in hospice.
Yeah, I don't go
Yeah,
bothering people in
don't do
hospice,
that.
but like, I mean, yeah, sorry. It was like,
Ask
I'm
your
just saying.
grandparents if they're still alive. What do they regret about their lives? Probably you, but aside from you.
Probably not your grandparents. Probably your parents, though.
Yeah. Oh, your parents super regret you.
Yeah, every parent
Yeah.
regrets having kids. Parents hate children, you know?
God, yeah. Like, why do you have
Why do
these
parents hate
things?
children so much? They just hate their own fucking kids.
You say that like you've never spent time around kids. I know why parents hate kids. Kids are
God
awful.
damn it. What the fuck? I'm taking a fucking Build-A-Bear again?
Oh, God.
Fuck!
Especially now that we
Just,
have remote controls for TVs. You don't
just
need a
want to play
kid. You
Hogwarts
don't need a
Legacy.
kid to go and turn
Fuck!
the definitely. Oh.
Fuck!
Regret nothing, people. Live your life on
Don't
your
live in
and that's the other thing is
fear.
like make decisions in accordance with who you are and what you feel and what you value, and you don't live with regrets. Even if you regret something, you have to let it go. Like, regrets don't get you anything. Just live the life you
It
want.
doesn't help.
And if someone asks you if you ever regret something, just tell them to fuck off.
Well, I mean, you don't have to go that harsh. The other thing I'll add to this is the other thing I'll add is understand that like a lot of the metrics for like a successful happy life are absolutely put into place and designed for and measured by cis people. like what we need to like be happy and like live our best lives is so diametrically opposed to the general standard of things that like none of that applies anyway. So
Yeah.
like it's like you're already just being trans, you're already outside of that
Yeah.
standard like measure system of measurements. It just doesn't apply to you. Like it's
Yeah.
not accurate and it's not there for you, and it doesn't work when you try to plug yourself into a thing
No.
that doesn't work. It's never going to work. You're never going to be happy. Like it can't be. You're not that.
Right. Plus, cis people want so much to be happy, and as a trans woman, you only need three
God,
things.
they're all so miserable.
You
I mean,
need
I blanket
you need
statement, but like, yeah,
you need a stuffed animal, you need a fresh jar of pickles, and you need a dress that goes spinny, and you're done. Trans dudes,
you need your
uh,
meds.
yeah,
You
you
need
just
your
need your
meds.
meds. You need your meds.
You need your meds, and then just need to
Trans
look in the
dudes
mirror
just
once in a
need
while
that
and be like,
scruffy
oh.
beard, their little scruffy beard. I love it. I love trans dude
Mm-hmm.
beards. Oh my god, so good.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't mean to get all cranky or yelly or
It's
anything like that.
okay.
It's just like
It's
it's
okay.
just
I
like
mean, I
here's
told
the thing.
I
It's not
told I told someone
It's not a
to tell
regret
them to fuck him
thing.
off. So like,
I'm
we
just
both
saying,
kind
like
of got a little
like
testy there.
that's what
Yeah,
what if you regret it? You won't.
you won't.
Like statistically, you will not.
And
Like
if you
like
do, who cares? You're gonna do
and
tons of
change.
shit you
Yeah, if you
regret.
regret it, then stop
Then
doing it.
change,
And yeah, and
go
then
back.
detransition and
Yeah,
be one of those people.
and then
That's it.
never regret anything else in your life
Yeah, ever again.
ever again until that
It's yeah,
plane crashes in
it's
the house 2 days after you bought it.
right.
Then you'll be like, why did I buy this fucking house? The fucking plane magnet.
Yeah, goddamn plane magnet.
Goddamn plane magnet.
All right, babe.
Oh, y'all, this has been what a special treat of an episode. You got 3 questions in,
Did we do
and
three? I thought we only did two.
no, we did three. We did
Okay, we
three.
did
You were
two.
like one more, and I was like, yeah, we did one more.
I was like one more because I thought it was the second question.
No, we did three. This is a bonus episode,
I
baby.
think we did two.
Well, you'll give it a listen when you edit it, and you'll see that we did three. But that's cool.
Maybe if I'm wrong and we did do three, and that'll be the intro to the beginning.
Yeah.
It'll be like Memento.
What are they talking about? You'll know by
Like what?
the end what they're
What?
talking about.
What's going on? She's starting with the
Oh,
ending.
all the beautiful
Brought to
babies
you
out
by M.
there.
Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan. All you beautiful babies out
You know
there.
what the M
Oh
stands
my
for? Did we talk about
god.
this?
Magic Mike. Magic Mike Shyamalan.
Mid.
Midnight Shyamalan.
Got those sunglasses. He's Midnight Shyamalan.
Midnight Shyamalan. Babies, thank you for joining us today. We hope everyone is wonderful and fabulous and safe and surrounded by loved ones. And if not, know that we are your loved ones and we're here and we're happy.
We love you.
And we're just an email away. girldick@gmail.com. Email us. Email us a question. Email us feedback. Email us, I don't know, if you're wondering where Ted Cruz has been. We've already had that email, but we'll do our best to answer that. It's been fun.
Well, we had fun with
Amanda, the Sundays we spend recording together are like the highlight of my week. I hope they are for you too.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So
y'all have to go out and deal with all this.
Yeah, I gotta go work on some stuff. So y'all are amazing. Thank you for listening.
I've been Lilith.
That's Amanda. She's gonna go work on a record.
I'm gonna go work on a record.
A world record?
I mean, it's gonna be put into the world. It'll be out in the world.
I mean, you're like gonna eat like 500. You're gonna eat like 50 tomatoes in like half an hour. Like world record.
I might eat 50 eggs. Okay. Gonna be Paul Newman.
Everyone, we love you all. We'll see you next week.
Hang on.
Oh.
Did I ever tell you? You know how like Paul Newman's got like his Paul Newman brand of food?
Yeah, Newman's Own.
Yeah, Newman's Own, and like there's a picture of Paul Newman on it. And this is a thing that like I wanted to do, and it's probably why I'm not in marketing, and it's probably why I'll never have a real job.
Yeah.
But what I would have done if I were in charge of Newman's Own, the brand, is when he died.
Yeah.
I would have decomposed that image at the exact rate of human decomposition. And it would be a skull by now. And that would have been the right way to do it. I would have enjoyed that so much. Like just every week is just a little bit more decomposed.
I mean, when I go to the grocery store, I'm looking for like the perfect Caesar or Italian dressing. I'm always looking for one that's got a skull on it.
Oh, what is Paul Newman's skull?
Baby, once the Paul Newman's gone, a skull is just a skull.
Skull's a skull. What is Paul Newman's? No, that's not true. Like, I mean, there's the crystal skull, Indiana Jones.
Is his hair just gonna grow wild too, like it would on his corpse?
Exactly. It's just like you do it exactly like it would.
And then you're like
you just.
What are these things coming up from the bottom? Like those are his fingernails. He was buried like this.
You can do phrenology on your salad dressing.
If you know what, we always tell people
organic Oreos.
We always tell people to email us if they have questions. If you know of a food brand that has a skull for its logo or mascot, email.
I do. Yeah. I'm sure there's more than one hot sauce that has a skull on it.
Well, why don't we let people email us and
guarantee you.
Oh my God.
I guarantee you there's like 20.
I'm trying to cause engagement here, Amanda.
Email us with your skull.
It's too late. They're not going to email us.
They are going to email us.
They will email us
at girldickwithted@gmail.com.
Yeah. Just fan mail, questions, hate mail. Just send it to us.
Hot sauce recommendations.
Any food stuffs with skulls on it.
Tattoo ideas.
I'm running out of room, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies, gentlemen, and babies, I am running out of space.
Opportunities.
We'd be a guest.
Links, email us.
We could be a guest speaker at your conference. We could.
We could be a singular guest speaker. The amalgam of us.
Yeah, we'll do
it. We'll sew ourselves together.
We'll flip-flop every word.
Like we'll just like. We'll do it. We'll do it.
We'll do it.
We'll do it for your event.
Is your check gonna? If your check's not gonna bounce, we'll do it.
We'll do it for
cash only. Cash only.
Is it a brown paper bag?
That's gonna be the new podcast, Cash Only with Amanda and Lilith.
But once we're sewn together.
Wait, is this a speaking engagement idea or an OnlyFans?
Or either way. I don't see why we have to make the distinction.
Can be both. Y'all are beautiful. Y'all are so beautiful. I want you guys to remember that. You guys, gals, non-binary, glorious people, just remember you're amazing and we love you.
I mean, being sewn together's got to be a fetish. Like
You're just not
everything's
gonna
a
let that go.
fetish.
That totally derailed your record mixing
Really?
today because you'd be
I mean,
like,
what about the Siamese twins that regret getting separated? What if they regret it?
what if they regret it?
They regret it.
Regret it. I only have half a liver now. What
You
the
know, you
fuck?
sew yourself back together, just like Lilith the bee.
Let's let it clear for a second, and then we're gonna get a proper goodbye in. Thanks for joining us this week. We're so happy to spend some time with you. I'm Lilith. That's Amanda. Y'all are beautiful, and remember that, and stay strong, and we love you. Goodbye.
Bye bye.